Coming up on Fox 5, a man tries to kidnap a child from in front of a school in Chula Vista. We are live with the latest on that investigation.
And a wildfire in Malibu forces evacuations, why fire crews are having trouble evacuating a kids camp nearby.
Plus, one day after winning the Nevada caucus, Donald Trump skips a town hall. What the other candidates had to say about the frontrunner's attitude.
Then the Oscars are this weekend. We're live in Hollywood with a behind-the-scenes look at all the final preps. The Fox 5 Morning News at 5 starts right now.
Live from San Diego, this is the Fox 5 Morning News.
And happening right now, breaking news, firefighters battling this brush fire now burning in Malibu. The fire has burned about 20 acres at this point. At least one home is being threatened. Officials are saying that this fire started around 3 o'clock in the morning, just about 2 hours ago. This is near Mulholland Highway. These are live pictures that you're looking at, and you're really getting an idea of how large this fire is there. Several homes have already been evacuated in that area. Also, new information coming to us. There's a kids camp with about 300 campers nearby. They are being evacuated, but officials say that fire is burning away from the camp, away from those kids. We will continue to follow this story, bring you any updates as they come here into the newsroom. You see the massive response there. Yeah. Okay, we'll stay on top of that story, obviously, for you. It's 5:01 right now. Good morning, I'm Raul Martinez. And I'm Shali Zamarodi. It is Thursday, February 25th. Let's get your day started with Chrissy Russo. She's got your instant weather and traffic. Ms. Russo, good morning.
You know, in Malibu right now, they have 13% relative humidity, very dry. Very gusty winds, but the dry is the biggie. It's 65 degrees there right now. The winds are gusting at 26 miles per hour. The dew point at one of the reporting stations in Malibu is 13 degrees. Now that is very, very low. It feels good in the 50s to have a dew point temperature in the 13 is very, very low and combustible. You know, if a fire starts, it moves along as the same rate as the wind, and when you have you know, all this available dry brush like this and winds gusting at 26 miles per hour, a 13-degree dew point temperature and a 65-degree actual temperature, you know, it's not the best conditions, that's for sure. Okay, we are taking a live look here downtown right now at Lindbergh. We're checking in at 59 degrees, and later today upper 70s along the coastline and mid 80s getting into the inland valleys. Traffic so far so good this morning out on the roads. It's still quite early getting in and out of downtown. Everybody's moving along great. Guys, I'll check back with you in just a few.
All right, Chrissy, thank you. This morning, Chula Vista police are investigating an attempted abduction of an 8-year-old little boy.
Fox Eye's Eric Richards live at Greg Rogers Elementary with who police are looking for. Eric.
Hey, Shelley, good morning. Well, that attempted kidnapping happened Monday right when school got out at the Greg Rogers Elementary School here in Chula Vista. This is the school behind me, as you can see. Now, what we know so far, according to police, is that police did confirm that the incident happened on Monday, but say the boy's grandmother did not report it until Tuesday, one day later. Now, officers say an African-American man driving a white van with no windows went up to the boy once school ended. Police say the man told the boy he was sent by his mother to pick him up, but officers say that 8-year-old boy knew that was not true since his mom was in Mexico. That's when the boy ran home and told his grandma, who she later contacted the school. We are hearing that the principal did send out a letter to all parents informing them about that incident, and police say as of right now the man is described as having a big beard and bald. And again, they say that van has no windows when he did approach that boy. Again, back out here live. If you have any information, of course, do contact Chula Vista Police. That is the latest, guys. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Eric, thank you for that.
The Coast Guard rescues a crew on a fishing boat in New York. Officials say the waves may have caused that boat to overturn off of Rockaway Beach this morning. You can see a chopper full of crew members one by one. These are live pictures this morning of that boat. A total of 7 people were on the 74-foot vessel. Officials say during the rescue, the Coast Guard's boat also flipped over. Each crew member was taken to the shore. Everybody's doing okay. A section of Sunset Cliffs has collapsed. The ledge gave way yesterday in Ocean Beach near Udare Street. The city fenced off that area about a month ago after officials considered it unsafe. No one was hurt. In Elmar, a train collided head-on with a car, but everyone made it out alive. The Burlington Northern Santa Fe train was headed along Coast Boulevard and 15th Street last night. The conductor reported seeing a BMW on the tracks with a woman standing outside.
He couldn't stop in time and hit that car. By the time investigators got there, the woman had taken off. One of the people accused of several home invasions in North County will be in court today. Victor Harvey was arrested last week in connection to a string of crimes. Police say victims were tied up and threatened with guns. And in one case, a victim was raped. In all of the robberies, they got in through unlocked doors. 5 other people were also arrested.
Carlsbad residents are still waiting for the big decision on that controversial new development plan. The vote is just too close to call. There will be an update around 5 o'clock tonight. We may not know the final official result until next week. Right now, the Registrar of Voters reports the no vote is actually up by 186 votes. However, there are still 7,100 mail-in ballots that still need to be counted. If Measure A goes through, a shopping mall will be built on the Agua Hedionda Lagoon. Apple CEO Tim Cook is opening up about the battle between the company and the FBI. In an interview with ABC for World News Tonight, Cook continued to defend his decision. He said it's too risky to do what the government is now asking.
But this case is not about my phone. This case is about the future. What is at stake here is, can the government compel Apple to write software that we believe would make hundreds of millions of customers vulnerable around the world, including the U.S.? The only way we know would be to write a piece of software that we view as sort of the software equivalent of cancer. We think it's bad news to write. We would never write it. We have never written it. And that is what is at stake here.
Federal officials say Apple will be free to destroy that software once the iPhone is open to their investigators.
Tonight is the GOP presidential debate in Texas. The candidates had a practice round with Fox's Megyn Kelly in a town hall meeting in Houston. But there was one exception. Fox's Jackie Ibanez shows us how they took advantage of Donald Trump's absence.
The remaining Republican candidates for president joined Fox News for a town hall in Houston, with one exception.
Businessman and frontrunner Donald Trump has a conflicting campaign event tonight in Virginia. We did offer to let him join us by He does by satellite, but his campaign said his schedule would not allow it. They were very polite and cordial.
Megan's first guest was Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who reached into his quiver and immediately started firing arrows at Donald Trump.
Well, listen, there has never been a candidate like Donald Trump. If you look nationally, in the head-to-head polls, Donald consistently loses to Hillary. I consistently beat Hillary. And so the question right now is, how do we prevent nominating a candidate who loses the general election? Or for that matter, if Donald wins the general election, who the heck knows what he'd do as president? We need a president we can trust.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio also took shots at the frontrunner.
We are not going to allow the conservative movement to be defined by a nominee who isn't a conservative. And we certainly need to elect someone who's prepared to be president in a thoughtful and serious and important way, given the threats this country faces.
Ohio Governor John Kasich says he is not dropping out.
But you just hang on, because you know what a lot of people say? If I were to get out, Donald Trump would win Ohio, and that would be the end of it.
The Republican candidates face off in their next debate Thursday night at the University of Houston. The event comes just days before the important Super Tuesday primaries. In New York, Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
7 people are now dead after severe weather hits the southeast. A winter storm warning is now stretching from Texas all the way up to Delaware. In the last 2 days, more than 50 tornadoes have been reported all across the country. Virginia, Florida, North Carolina were the hardest hit. Officials say more than 50 million people were in this storm's path. It is now moving up the East Coast. And happening right now, back to our breaking news, firefighters currently battling this brush fire burning right now in Malibu. The fire has burned at least 20 acres so far. One home is being threatened. Officials say that fire started around 3 o'clock in the morning near Mulholland Highway.
Several homes have been evacuated in that area. There's also some concern about a kids camp. They have about 300 campers nearby. Those kids are being evacuated, but officials do say that that fire is burning away from the camp. These are live pictures that you're taking a look at right now. You see firefighters there on the scene trying to get a handle of this brush fire in Malibu. We will continue to follow the story, bring you any updates as they come here into the newsroom. And Chrissy, you look at this and you think over the past few weeks, we should have had some rain or something.
How many opportunities these fires have had to start, and they haven't. I got to give it to people, especially here in San Diego, what how much caution we have been using, and it really just takes somebody cutting their grass, throwing a cigarette butt out the window. I mean, you can't believe how easy it is to start fires like this. Unfortunately, the dew point temperature is 13 degrees there right now. They just had a wind gust at 26 miles per hour. That is, so the way these fires work, if there's a gust at 26 miles per hour, the fire can move at 26 miles per hour. And when you've had a drought for the last 4, almost 5 years, you get very dangerous conditions very quickly. So certainly we'll keep you posted on that. This is a live look from KTLA in Malibu. This is our sister station up above this fire, and certainly we'll keep you posted. All right, back here in San Diego, clear skies. I can't say it's cool. It's quite warm out. 56 degrees in Fallbrook, 58 degrees in Chula Vista. The dew point temperatures are in the 20s, 30s, and maybe 40s if you're lucky. Big dome of high pressure dominates at least for the next 7 days or so. Now, watches and warnings on the East Coast. Excuse me, that deadly storm moving up the coastline. Let's go live now to Queens, New York, where there is a rescue going on of a boat that came ashore, obviously having some trouble there. Again, this is in Queens, and this storm coming up the coastline. I tell you, my mom in Virginia, they were hunkering down yesterday. They had some tornadoes. And in my hometown, 2 people were killed from those tornadoes. So very, very serious conditions here. Let's bring it back to the graphics. As you see this storm still moving up the coastline, look how cold it is now once it gets that Canadian air starting to fill in with it. And then you get the snow getting up into the upper Midwest and getting up into Canada as well. Over the next 48 hours, it continues to be the East Coast and the Northeast that gets any kind of rain. Towards Saturday morning, Friday night, a low pressure system will move into the Pacific Northwest and drop a little bit of rain there. We have a high surf advisory, big waves for us today. Waves double overhead. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast at the beach. 76 and sunny today. We don't get out of the 70s for the next 7 days. And getting into the inland valleys, mid 80s today, and we barely get out of the 80s on Saturday, and that's about it. Let's check traffic, see what's going on. Real quiet out on the roads this morning. So far, so good. There's the northbound 5 getting up into the downtown area, looking perfect. And CHP says you're doing great. 512 guys, back over to you.
Chrissy, thank you. Coming up here on Fox 5, the Aztecs are Mountain West champions, officially what they have to do if they want to make it to March Madness.
And where a rhino charged at tourists during a safari adventure. Oh, no.
Hey, but first we want to say good morning to Mia from Orange County. Orange County? You are today's Facebook friend of the day. We're expanding, shall we? Presented by Coleman University. Mia likes couponing and cycling. Maybe she rides her bike to San Diego. If you want to be our friend of the day, go to our Facebook page, click that friend of the day button, and enter. Good morning, Mia. Watching online, I guess?
Yes.
You're watching the Fox 5 Morning News.